2015년 3월 6일 오후 8시 6분.
Unit 8. Birds are
Birds are
animals.
animals.
Reading focus.
Reading focus.
What are some
What are
birds?
some birds?
What do
What
most
do
birds
most birds
look like?
look like?
What are some
What are some
different
different
birds?
birds?
Before you read.
Before you read.
Keywords.
Keywords.
Birds.
Birds.
Eagle.
Eagle.
Peacock.
Peacock.
Chicken.
Chicken.
Duck.
Duck.
Ostrich.
Ostrich.
Kiwi.
Kiwi.
Penguin.
Penguin.
A bird's body
A bird's
parts.
body parts.
Wings.
Wings.
Feathers.
Feathers.
Tail.
Tail.
Beak.
Beak.
Power verbs.
Power verbs.
Have in common.
Have in common.
Birds have
Birds
feathers,
have feathers
in common. Cover.
Cover.
Feathers cover
Feathers
a
cover
bird's
a
body.
bird's body.
Peck at.
Peck at.
Birds peck
Birds
at
pick
food
at food
with their
with their
beaks.
beaks.
Sit on.
Sit on.
Birds
Birds
sit on their eggs.
eggs.
Keep warm.
Keep warm.
Birds keep
Birds
their
keep
eggs
their
warm.
eggs warm.
Feed.
Feed.
Parent birds
Parent
feed
birds
baby
feed
birds.
baby birds.
Word families.
Bird families.
How a bird
How
grows.
a bird grows.
Eggs.
Eggs.
Hatch.
Hatch.
Feed.
Feed.
Have
Have
feathers.
feathers.
Can fly.
Can fly.
Adult bird.
Adult bird.
Birds are
Birds
animals.
are animals.
Look at the pictures.
Look at the pictures.
Eagle.
Eagle.
Chicken.
Chicken.
Duck.
Duck.
Peacock.
Peacock.
What do they have in
What
common?
do they have in common?
They are all
They
birds.
are birds.
Birds are
Birds
animals.
are animals.
There are many
There are many
different kinds
different
of
kinds
birds.
of birds.
Birds have
Birds
feathers.
have feathers.
These cover
These
their
cover
bodies.
their bodies.
Birds also
Birds
have
also
wings.
have wings.
Most birds
Most
use
birds
their
use
wings
their
to
wings
fly.
to fly.
Birds have
Birds
beaks
have
too.
beaks too.
These are their
These are
mouths.
their mouths.
Birds peck
Birds
at
have
food
pick at
with
food
their
with their
beaks.
beaks.
Birds lay
Birds
eggs,
lay
in
eggs
nests.
in nests.
Most birds,
Most birds
sit on their eggs.
eggs.
This keeps their
This
eggs
keeps
warm.
their eggs warm.
Later,
Later,
the eggs
the
hatch
eggs
and
hatch
baby birds are
birds
born.
are born.
When birds
When birds
hatch,
hatch,
they cannot
they
fly.
cannot fly.
Parent
Parent
birds feed
birds
them.
feed them.
Some birds
Some
are
birds
very
are very
large.
large.
Ostriches,
Ostriches
are huge birds.
birds.
They
They
cannot
cannot
fly,
fly,
but they can
but they
run
can
very
run
fast.
very fast.
Kiwis
Kiwis
cannot fly either.
either.
Birds are
Birds
animals.
are animals.
Look at the pictures.
Look at the pictures.
Eagle,
Eagle,
chicken,
chicken,
duck,
duck,
peacock.
peacock.
What do they have in common?
What do they have in common?
They are all birds.
They are all birds.
Birds are animals.
Birds are animals.
There are many different kinds of birds.
There are many different kinds of birds.
Birds have feathers.
Birds have feathers.
These cover their bodies.
These cover their bodies.
Birds also have wings.
Birds also have wings.
Most birds use their wings to fly.
Most birds use their wings to fly.
Birds have beaks too.
Birds have beaks too.
These are their mouths.
These are their mouths.
Birds peck at food with their beaks.
Birds peck at food with their beaks.
Birds lay eggs in nests.
birds lay eggs in nests.
Most birds sit on their eggs.
Most birds sit on their eggs.
This keeps their eggs warm.
This keeps their eggs warm.
Later, the eggs hatch and baby birds are born.
Later, the eggs hatch and baby birds are born.
When birds hatch, they cannot fly.
When birds hatch, they cannot fly.
Parent birds feed them.
Parent birds feed them.
Some birds are very large.
Some birds are very large.
Ostriches are huge birds.
Ostriches are huge birds.
They cannot fly, but they can run very fast.
They cannot fly, but they can run very fast.
Kiwis cannot fly either.
Kiwis cannot fly either.
Chapter 3. Language,
Language,
Mathematics,
mathematics,
Visual Arts,
visual arts,
Music.
music.
Unit 9. The City
The
Mouse
city
and the
mouse and
Country
the country
Mouse.
mouse.
Reading focus.
Reading focus.
Who is in the
Who
story?
is in the story?
How are the
How are
country,
the country
and
and
city
city
different?
different?
Why did
Why
the
did the
country
country
mouse
mouse
go
go
back
back
home?
home?
Before you read.
Before you read.
Keywords.
Keywords.
Who is in the
Who
story?
is in the story?
The city
The
mouse.
city mouse.
The country
The
mouse.
country mouse.
Cat.
Cat.
Meals.
Meals.
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
Lunch.
Lunch.
Dinner.
Dinner.
Dining table.
Dining table.
Food.
Food.
Cheese.
Cheese.
Fruit.
Fruit.
Bread.
Bread.
Meat.
Meat.
Potato.
Potato.
Cake.
Cake.
Power verbs.
Power verbs.
Visit.
Visit.
The city
The
mouse
city mouse
visited
visited
his friend.
his friend.
Set the table.
Set the table.
He set the
He set the
table.
table.
Serve.
Serve.
He
He
served
served
food.
food.
Taste.
Taste.
He
He
tasted some
tasted
cheese.
some cheese.
Return.
Return.
He
He
returned to
returned
his
to
house.
his house.
Arrive.
Arrive.
They
They
arrived at
arrived
the
at the
house.
house.
Finish.
Finish.
They could
They
not
could not
finish their
finish
dinner.
their dinner.
Pass. A
Pass.
few minutes
A few
passed.
minutes passed.
Go back.
Go back.
He went back
They
to the
went back
country.
to the country.
Word families.
Word families.
Frightened.
Frightened.
Surprised.
Surprised.
One mouse.
The mouse.
Two mice.
2 mice.
The city mouse
The city
and the
mouse
country
and the
mouse.
country mouse.
Once upon a
Once
time,
upon a
there
time,
were
there
two
were
mice.
2 mice.
They were friends.
They were friends.
One mouse
One mouse
lived in a small house in the
in
country.
the country.
The other
The
mouse
other mouse
lived in a large house in the
in the
city.
city.
One day,
One day,
the city
the
mouse
city
went
mouse
to
went
visit
to
his
visit
friend
his
in
friend
the
in the
country.
country.
The country
The
mouse
country
was
mouse
so
was so
happy
happy
to see the
see
city
the
mouse.
city mouse.
He set the
Set
table
the
for
table
dinner.
for dinner.
He served
And
some
served some
pieces
pieces
of
of
corn,
corn,
green
green
peas, and
peas,
berries.
and berries.
The city
The
mouse
city
looked
mouse
around
looked
the
around
table
the table
and
and
said,
said,
"Oh
"Oh
my,
my,
this is
this
all
is
you
all you
have?
have?
Is this
It
really
is
dinner?
really dinner?
How can you
How
eat
can you
such
eat such
plain
plain
food
food
every day,
every
my
day,
friend?"
my friend?
"I'm
I'm
sorry,"
sorry,
answered the
answered
country
the
mouse.
country mouse.
"But this is
But
what we
this is
eat
what
in the
we eat
country every
every
day,"
day,
he said.
he said.
"Come with me to
Come
the
with me
city,"
to the city,
said the city
said the
mouse.
city mouse.
"What is in the
What is in
city?"
the city?
asked the country
Asked the
mouse.
country mouse.
"There is a
There
lot
is a
of
lot of
delicious
delicious
food,"
food,
answered the city
answered the
mouse.
city mouse.
"Once you have
Once you
tasted
have
all
tasted
the
all the
wonderful
wonderful
food,
food,
you will
you
never
will
want
never
to
want to
return to the
return
country.
to the country.
So the two
So the
mice
2
went
mice
to
went
the
to the
city.
city.
The mice
The
walked
mice
for a
walked
long
for a
time.
long time.
At last,
Alas,
they
they
arrived
arrived
at the
at the
city
city
mouse's
mouse's home.
He
They
lived in a
lived in a
very
very
big house.
big house.
You
You
must be
must be
hungry.
hungry.
We will
We
have
will
dinner
have
soon,
dinner soon,
said the city
said the
mouse.
city mouse.
He invited
He
his
invited
friend
his
into
friend
a large
into a large
kitchen.
kitchen.
Help
Help
yourself.
yourself.
There is enough food for
There's
us,
enough food for
said the
us,
city
said the
mouse.
city mouse.
On the huge
On the
dining
huge dining
table,
table,
there was a
there
lot
was a
of
lot of
delicious
delicious
food.
food.
There were lots
There were
of
lots
bread
of
and
bread and
cheese.
cheese.
There were lots
There
of
were
meat
lots of
and
meat and
potatoes.
potatoes.
There were fruits
There were
and
fruits and cakes
too.
too.
See,
See,
said the city
said the
mouse.
city mouse.
This is how we
This is
eat
all
in the city every day.
every day.
You were
You
right,
were
my
right,
friend.
my friend.
This is a
This
very
is a
good
very
dinner,
good dinner,
answered the country
said the
mouse.
country mouse.
The two mice
The two mice began
began
to
to
eat
eat dinner.
dinner.
Just then,
Just
the
then,
door
the door
opened,
opened,
and they
and
saw
they
a
saw
cat
a
coming.
cat coming.
Run!
Run!
Shouted the
Shouted
city
the
mouse.
city mouse.
The two
The
mice
two mice
quickly ran through a
ran
small hole in the wall.
wall.
Phew,
Phew,
that was
that was
close,
close,
said the city
said the
mouse.
city mouse.
Just wait here
Just
for
wait
a
here for a
while,
while,
and then we can
and then we
finish
can
our
finish
dinner.
our dinner.
But the
But
country
the
mouse
country
was
mouse
very
was very
frightened.
frightened.
He could not
He could
even
not
talk.
even talk.
A few
A
minutes
few minutes
passed.
passed.
Let's go
Let's
back
go
and
back and
eat,
eat,
said the city
said the
mouse.
city mouse.
No, thank you,
No,
my
thank you,
friend,
my friend,
said the country
said the
mouse.
country mouse.
I'm going
I'm
back
going
to the
back to the
country.
country.
I like
I
my
like
simple
my simple
house.
house.
There is not
There's
much
not
food
much
at my
food in my
house,
house,
but I can
but I
eat
can
it in
eat it in
peace.
peace.
Goodbye, my friend.
Goodbye, my friend.
The country
The
mouse
country
went
mouse
back
went
to
back
his
to
home.
his home.
The city mouse and the country
City
mouse.
mouse and the country mouse.
Once upon a time,
upon a
there
time.
were two mice.
Once upon a time, there were two mice.
They were friends.
They were friends.
One mouse lived in a small house in the country.
One mouse lived in a small house in the country.
The other mouse lived in a large house in the city.
The other mouse lived in a large house in the city.
One day, the city mouse went to visit his friend in the country.
One day, the city mouse went to visit his friend in the
The country mouse was so happy to see the city mouse.
The country mouse was so happy to see the city mouse.
He set the table for dinner.
He set the table for the dinner.
He served some pieces of corn, green peas, and berries.
He served some pieces of
The
corn,
city
green
mouse
peas, and
looked around the
berries.
table and said,
The city mouse looked around the table and said,
"Oh my, this is all you have? Is this really dinner?
"Oh my, this is all you have? Is this really dinner?
How can you eat such plain food every day, my friend?"
How can you eat such plain food every day, my friend?"
"I'm sorry," answered the country mouse,
"I'm sorry," answered the country mouse.
"but this is what we eat in the country every day."
"But this is what
He
we
said.
eat in the city every day," he said.
"Come with me to the city," said the city mouse.
"Come with me to the city," said the city mouse.
"What is in the city?" asked the country mouse.
"What is in the city?" asked the country mouse.
"There is a lot of delicious food," answered the city mouse.
"There is a lot of delicious food," answered the city mouse.
"Once you have tasted all the wonderful food, you will never want to return to the country."
Once you have tasted all the wonderful
the
food,
two
you
mice
will never
went
want
to
to
the
return to
city.
the country. So the two mice went to the city.
The mice walked for a long time.
The mice walked for a long time.
At last, they arrived at the city mouse's home.
At last they arrived at the city mouse's home.
He lived in a very big house.
He lived in a very big house.
"You must be hungry. We will have dinner soon," said the city mouse.
"You must be hungry. We will have dinner soon."
He invited his friend into a large kitchen.
He invited his friend into a large kitchen.
"Help yourself. There is enough food for us," said the city mouse.
Help yourself. There is enough
On
food
the
for
huge
us," said the
dining
city
table,
mouse.
there was a lot of delicious food.
On the huge dining table, there was a lot of delicious food.
There were lots of bread and cheese.
There were lots of bread and cheese.
There were lots of meat and potatoes.
And there were lots of meat and potatoes.
There were fruits and cakes too.
There were fruits and cakes too.
See, said the city mouse.
See, said the city mouse.
This is how we eat in the city every day.
This is how we eat in the city every day.
You were right, my friend. This is a very good dinner, answered the country mouse.
You were right, my friend. This is a very good dinner, answered the country mouse.
The two mice began to eat the dinner.
The two mice began to eat the dinner.
Just then the door opened, and they saw a cat coming.
Just then the door opened and they saw a cat coming.
Run! Shouted the city mouse.
Run! Shouted the city mouse.
The two mice quickly ran through a small hole in the wall.
The two mice quickly ran through a hole in the wall.
Phew, that was close, said the city mouse.
Phew, that was close, said the city mouse.
Just wait here for a while, and then we can finish our dinner.
Just wait here for a while, then we can finish our dinner.
But the country mouse was very frightened.
But the country mouse
He
was
could not
very
even talk.
frightened. He could not even talk.
A few minutes passed.
A few minutes passed.
Let's go back and eat, said the city mouse.
Let's go back and eat, said the city mouse.
No, thank you, my friend, said the country mouse.
No, thank you, my friend, said the country mouse.
I'm going back to the country. I like my simple house.
I'm going back to the country. I like my simple house.
There is not much food at my house,
There is not much food in my house,
but I can eat it in peace.
but I can
Goodbye,
eat in
my
peace.
friend.
Goodbye, my friend.
The country mouse went back to his home.
The country mouse went back to his home.
Unit 10. Counting to 100.
Counting to 100.
Reading focus.
Reading focus.
How high
How
can
high
you
can
count?
you count?
Can you count
Can
to
you count to
100 by
100 by
tens?
tens?
Can you
Can
count
you count
backwards?
backwards?
Before you read.
Before you read.
Keywords.
Keywords.
Counting by
Counting by
tens.
tens.
10,
10,
20,
20,
30,
30,
40,
40,
50,
50,
60,
60,
70,
70,
80,
80,
90,
90,
100.
100.
Counting by
Counting
5.
by fives.
5,
5,
10,
10,
15,
15,
20,
20,
25,
25,
30,
30,
35,
35,
40,
40,
45,
45,
50,
50,
55,
55,
60,
60,
65,
65,
70,
70,
75,
75,
80,
80,
85,
85,
90,
90,
95,
95,
100.
100.
Power verbs.
Power verbs.
Continue.
Continue.
Let's
Let's
continue
continue
counting.
counting.
Count by tens.
Count by tens.
I can
I
count
can
by
count by
tens.
tens.
Find out.
Find out.
Let's
Let's
find
find
out the
the
answer.
answer.
Count by
Count by
fives.
fives.
I can
I can
count
count
by
by
fives.
fives.
Count backward.
Count backward.
Let's count
Let's count
backward.
backward.
Try.
Try.
Try
Try
counting
counting
backward from 20 to 10.
10.
Practice.
Practice.
Practice
Practice
counting
counting
out loud. Be able
Be
to.
able to.
He is
He is
able to
able
count
to count
backward.
backward.
Word families.
Word families.
Above.
Above.
What
The
numbers are above 5?
5.
Between.
Between.
Say the numbers,
See the numbers
between 1
between
and 10.
1 and 10.
Counting to 100.
Counting to 100.
You can
You
count
can
from
count
1
from
to
1
20.
to 20.
1,
1,
2,
2,
3,
3,
4,
4,
5,
5,
6,
6,
7,
7,
8,
8,
9,
9,
10.
10.
11,
11,
12,
12,
13,
13,
14,